going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Brian. I'm back to talk about some stuff that's going on with me. This is real life. You know, we talk about The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and my book series and, you know, stuff that's fiction. But real life is real life too. I'm a real person. You're a real person. You're watching this. Hopefully you're one of our subscribers and one of our PT peeps who loves the channel for what it is. You could be a Walking Dead family member that you like The Walking Dead, or hopefully you're all three where you like my Fight For Us book series too. So a lot of craziness has been going on really in my life this summer. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. I don't know if it's going good for you or bad, but overall, it's been crazy for me this summer. So I just don't like this summer. I think that I've come to the conclusion that this summer is the worst time for me. I'm not a student. I'm not a teacher. I don't get off unless I take off. And that's where it's at. If you're a high school kid or a college student, you're like, I love the summer. It's great. It's not long enough. If you're a teacher, you might like the summers because you got it off too. But the average person doesn't. I'm a physical therapist. I'm a YouTuber. I'm an author. I'm a bunch of things on there too. So really, work never stops for me. It just goes on from one thing. PT, YouTube, writing, house, this, that, you know, it's just shoveling it all around, right? So maybe you're feeling like me and you're like, this summer sucks. I can't catch a break. And I feel you on that for sure. Let's recap a little bit over my summer, right? So in June, we lost our cat, Callie. We lost my wife's cat, Callie, just her age, and she wasn't doing well, and it was terrible. And, you know, it's been 2 months now since she's been gone, a little over 2 months. And our life has changed drastically. July, car stuff, house stuff, you know, just a bunch of crap that was terrible. It's so hot. And, you know, I'm not a student, so like my life is always year round. I don't have time off. I don't get that. I wish we did. I wish there was like a summer break for, you know, certain jobs on there, but there's not. So then yesterday, well, previously a couple weeks ago, I had a reaction to my Humira. It wasn't doing very well. Doing better since then too. Then we had car stuff. So yesterday, it was pouring rain. And it was getting rain and rain coming down more and more and more. And I go out to my car, lock the front door, and I look at the rain. And I'm like, in Florida, you can give it 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and it's going to slow down, stop, or intensify. And it intensified. So I'm standing there and I'm looking at my car. And I'm like, I'm going to get soaked. So I went back in the house, got a little umbrella, put a jacket on, saw Milo, who's hiding underneath the table because he doesn't like storms. And I feel really bad. I felt bad leaving him. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can't do this. But he was hiding and he just wasn't doing well. So I go to my car, still like, all right, it's still raining. It's raining sideways. It's like, it's literally coming this way. I'm getting soaked just standing underneath my awnings looking at my car. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, I got to go. So I get into my car. Arm gets soaked. Car door gets soaked. Umbrella wouldn't close right. It's like, come on. Right? So I get in there and I go, car won't start. Right? Won't start. Try it 3-4 times. Just like this, the rain instantly stops. Meanwhile, I just got into the car and I've been in the car for 10 seconds and then the rain just comes like you turned off a faucet. Off. Great. So I'm dealing with that. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be in work in, 40 minutes. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I call work and I say, look, I can't, I'm stranded here, right? So I look around. None of my neighbors are home. So I text my wife and I'm like, look, I think my battery's dead. Can you come home? I need to jump my car. So she was coming home anyway because she had to go to the lab and get some blood work done. So luckily she came home and it all worked out. Stopped raining, got out of my car, popped the hood, and I look at it. There's some corrosion on the battery line. One of the cables, the negative electrode on there too. So I'm like, okay, there's some corrosion that I've never really had corrosion on a battery line before. So I'm like, maybe that's it. So I remember, go inside, get some soda. I got a can of Sprite, opened it, dumped it all over the battery acid, and it dissolved it. It ate it away. I was like, oh crap, that worked. Life hack, it worked. Like nailed it. So I was like, all right. But if I'm going to jump the car, I don't want wetness on there. So I got a towel and dried it off. Then I tried to start it because I was like, maybe it's that. Maybe the corrosion from the battery acid, did it. Nope, didn't get it. So I'm waiting and waiting, and I'm waiting for my wife to come home because it takes some time for where she works. I'm looking up different things. The battery, the alternator, this. Meanwhile, I see that a hurricane is coming towards Florida. Great. I live in Tampa Bay, which is the storm is supposed to come on the other side of the state, anywhere from Miami to Orlando area, Titusville, Jacksonville, anywhere on the east coast of the state. And it's not going to come to, this weekend or, early next week. But I'm like, man, here we go. Hurricane season is from June 1st to December 1st. And if you follow the channel, you know that we lost power 2 years ago from Hurricane Irma in September. And it's right around this time, 2 years ago, which was terrible. And so luckily it's hopefully going to be impacting the East Coast or around us, above us or something, and not really impact us directly. So I can see that. I'm checking Google and I'm looking at alternator battery stuff. Is it this? Is it that? And then I text my dad, right? And I'm like, yep, the battery is dead. I think my battery's dead. He's like, oh, that's not good. I hope it's just the battery. Thanks for the words of wisdom or something to help out, right? And I mean, he's just trying to do this. So then my wife comes home. I hook up the jumper cables. I've done it before. Got her car and turned it, and we got set up. Start up her car, get some juice going to the battery, and then I try to start my car. And it's making a little stronger noise, but it's not starting. So I'm like, what am I going to do, right? Crap, the car won't start. This is all I got. All I have is this option here to start the car. So I'm like trying it, and I'm like, I don't know what else to do. So I'm trying it, and I'm trying to key, and I'm trying to key. And then I'm like, yeah. I'll kind of screaming at the car while I'm turning it. And then it's like, and it went, and it started to go, right? It's like a lawnmower right there. But no, it went. I'm like, yes. Woo! That's a win right there, baby, Again, perception is reality. It could have been terrible. It could have been worse. But we got it going. I'm like, I'm not turning the car off because I'm afraid the car won't stop. It won't start again after it stops. So I shut the hood, got her car, and I set up on there too. Get back in, get changed, and I got to go to, I go to AutoZone because it's by my house, and they did the battery before, and it was their battery, and so maybe they can change out the battery because I'm like, it's probably just the battery. So say goodbye to my wife, drive down to AutoZone. Starting to rain a little bit again, so I'm like, this is great. So I get over to AutoZone. And I'm afraid to turn the car off. So I just shut the door and I go inside. I'm like, look, I need a battery probably. I'm not going to turn the car off because I might get stranded here. What am I supposed to do? And they say, oh, let's check the alternator. So I left the car running. They hook up their machine to it. Says the alternator diode failed. Great. What am I supposed to do? I thought it was the battery. I can buy a battery. They can change it out. They've done it before. Bing, bada, boom. I'm on my way. But the alternator is a whole different thing. The lady just walks away from me. She's like, I can't help you. See you later. She didn't even say goodbye. She just walked away. I'm like, great. So I get in my car, call my dad up, and I'm like, yeah, they think it's the alternator at AutoZone. And my dad's like, where to go? Where to go? Where should you go? And I'm like, this isn't helping. Bye. Boop. Hang up. Drive. I'm like, there's a Goodyear kind of close to my house. So I drive right to there, I park, and I call them and say, look, I might need an alternator. I went to AutoZone. They said it could be the alternator that's not changed. The car wouldn't start. Can you do that for me? Sure, we could take care of that for you. Okay. And then I left the car running because I'm afraid for the car to turn off, what do you do? So I can't have the car run all day. So I go inside, and there's this lady who's in front of me. And she's just walking back and forth and asking a million questions about her car and this and just and no one's helping me. There's these people sitting there talking to her, and they look at me, but they don't say anything. So I'm like, okay, am I going to get helped here at all? Nothing? Great. So they're dealing with this lady, and she had a problem with her tire or whatever, and it really wasn't a big deal, and so she left. And then they're like, oh, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I called about the alternator battery situation on there too. And they're like, oh, yeah. And I give them this situation. I'm like, AutoZone. I went over there. He's like, AutoZone. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't changed the battery. It was their battery before. So I thought there could be, maybe a warranty or something. But no. So he's like, no, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like it's the battery. The alternator should be okay. And then I'm thinking, the car is running. If it was the alternator, it would have just died on me too. If the alternator wasn't working, once you get the car running and the alternator is working, it's going to produce power from that too. The battery is different. If it won't start, it's the initial start, I guess, from the battery, and then the alternator takes over, and it's died is what I've read, and I could be wrong. But so I get to there, and I'm like, okay. He's like, do you want to wait for it or whatever? I'm like, how long is this going to take? I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to do this. And so he's like, do you want to wait for it? I'm like, yeah, but how long is it going to take? He's like, oh, just wait for it. So I guess he gave it to the guy. He rushed it. The guy's walking to my car. So I see him, and I'm like, yeah, there's a whole other problem with the car. And he's like, what? And he gets into the car, and then it just starts right up. And I'm like, what? I thought the battery would be dead. And in there too. So he just drove right in. They tested everything. They tested the alternator, batteries. Like the battery is like medium. It's okay. It's all right. Alternator looks good. Everything looks fine. And I'm like, what? Well, that's good, but it's not good, right? So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, but you need a new shifter. The shifter isn't this and breaking. So I had to order that and set up. I had to go get it today so they can install it later. It's like this whole big thing. So I got to do this, got to do that. And then today I went to go pick up the shifter. That was kind of close to my house, but I also had to go to the dentist this morning. So like, again, the dentist, I feel like I've been living in the dentist. I've been going and this and there, and you got to get this, you got to get your gums checked, and you got to get that and stuff too, right? So that was great. That's how I had to start my day, going to the dentist, getting my gums and my teeth scraped and everything on there too. And again, they love to ask you questions when they got all these tools in your mouth, like, yeah, so you're ready for you're okay for the hurricane? Like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And he's like, what? And I'm like, stop asking me questions. I got all this stuff. So the dentist was like doing his thing in there too, and the hygienist was over there, and he's got like this tube to like suck up the saliva in the water, and he's got this water pick thing that's kind of scraping as well with it. And I feel like I'm choking on the water, and then I'm barely holding on, and I'm trying to breathe and swallow in this, and I'm like, and it's just terrible, right? So that was how I started my day here going forward. And then it's pouring rain. Had to go to Sam's Club. People are just all over the place. They're stocking up on supplies, even though the hurricane is coming on the other side of the state. So like, we should be okay. And you have a little time. We don't know the path and everything, but better to be safe than sorry. But people were like buying cases and water and this and that, and they were freaking out, right? So mob mentality, people are freaking out for it on there too. And I can imagine what the East Coast of the state's like, and South Florida is all craziness as well. But just when in doubt, get your supplies in there too. We got tons of batteries and stuff, and so we should be okay, but we don't know what it's going to be going forward. But that's just some craziness that's going on with me. So I feel your pain if you're having a tough summer, tough couple months, even a tough year, and we're getting through it, guys. Hurry up October, right? I got big things happening in October. We got some trips. Walking Dead will be back, movies, stuff. It's just exciting also. The best time of the year is coming up. September, October, November, December. Fall will be here before you know it. That's the end of September. And then I'm really excited for October, November, and December. But words of wisdom, guys, get through it, persevere, and also make trips and plan things for throughout the year into next year, because it gives you something to look forward to it. Even if it's a small little weekend trip or an extended weekend or a long weekend, it's something to look forward to. You're like, all right, 2 more weeks or 2 more months or whatever, it's something to look forward to. And it's always great to get through your year. Big things will be happening next year for the channel, myself, my life, my friends. I got a friend who's getting married next year. We're going to be doing some trips and some stuff. So hopefully you'll join us along the way. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, and making memories, and also staying true to yourself. There's a lot of haters out there that hate on me and what I do and what we do here. So we got to block them out. There's always going to be haters, and there's always going to be people trying to knock you down. Keep people in your corner that want to build you up and help you, but also be real about it. You don't want to have a yes person that's like, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. That sounds great. When it's kind of like bad ideas too. But I like realistic people, real people in my life. And it doesn't have to be a lot of people, but it can just be the right people. Quality over quantity any day of the week. And the last thing I want to talk about right here is I want you to do something to start the process of whatever it is. Write a book, write a letter, write a paragraph, draw something, sing something, dance something, go to school, register for classes. Just do something that you've always wanted to do, or start the process and look into it. Because I don't want to feel like I didn't accomplish something in my life looking back. And I think a lot of people feel that same way. My father is retired and he's older now in there too. And he is a person that I want to have him enjoy his life and also be something that he accomplished it and be happy with his life. I don't want him to look back, in a couple years or 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, however long he lives, and be like, I wish I did that. And I don't want you to do that either. Whether you're 15 or 50 or 80 years old, if you're watching this for the first time, or you watch all our videos. But I just want to say my final tagline that I say at every video now. It means a lot to me, and they are words of wisdom, and hopefully they motivate and inspire, and that's the goal. And I really do believe with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself, you can do it. See you guys.